Hi, Jen Gilchrist here, your Soul Success Mentor, and I'm here with another weekly reading for April 18th through Sunday the 24th of April 2016. And I'm going to pull a message for all of us heart-centered and spiritual entrepreneurs that are on their path to really sharing their message with the world so that we can get our messages out in the world in a much larger way and in a much more authentic way. So let's see what they have to say. I'm going to be working with Mother Mary Oracle cards from Doreen Virtue. All right, let's see what she's saying today. So the first card is Present Moment. And it says, I am fully present in the here and now. And first off, it's definitely about being present, right? It's about being in present time. It's about, last week was a lot about being in nature. And one of the first things I noticed was the baby's hands right on the mother's heart. And so again, we're kind of on the heels of talking about aligning with our heart, being open in our heart, receiving. But this is a lot about noticing your mind. Like, is your mind in a lot of chatter? Is it thinking a lot into the future, you know, worrying about this or that, or judging yourself about, you know, what you didn't do or what you could have done different? You know, just notice how present are you, right? Are you kind of in your head, or are you in your heart, or are you in your present in your body? So just noticing that it's definitely continued time to just give yourself some space. Last week was a lot about being out in nature, really honoring your sensitivity. So just noticing that, did you do well with that? Do you need to do a little bit more of that? Just allowing yourself to really, I think, ground into the present, into your body, really connect with your body and your spirit so that you can be here and now. And also that's where you can hear the voice of God, where you can hear, you know, heaven's support, right? You can hear your intuition, you can connect with that divine wisdom that's there at all times. And so I feel like all these shifts have happened. It's a lot about reflecting and receiving information, but it's about being present, you know, in your mind and body so that you can have the quietness to actually hear the answers that you're seeking, that you already know, right? That you have within your heart. The next card is Optimism. And it says, I expect good things to happen, and they do. And as I was looking at this card today, I was noticing, where are they? Well, I see that, I'm not sure if it's angels on both sides of the being there. And I'm getting this feeling of the merging of the masculine and feminine, and just being really aware of being in balance and present in your body with your mind and spirit, right? It's connecting with the earth, connecting with God, connecting your spirit and your body, being embodied, and really being aware of how much you're in your masculine and your feminine energies, really being merging that side so that you're in you're reflective enough that you're open to receiving the guidance, but then also can take the action into inspired action and not effort. So it's definitely a blending of those two things, are being asked of you to just really stay in balance as you move forward. It is spring, and there's definitely more action-oriented movement happening, and there's still reflection happening. So it's almost just like from day to day being really aware of, you know, really having as much balance as you can, taking that time for yourself, and then taking some action, and then coming back to yourself, and then taking some action. It just looks like that's the way to actually get ahead further, so you don't jump into, you know, you might have already had a lot of inspired ideas, but then you don't want to end up hitting overwhelm and not being able to get anything done, right? So the last card is Love. Well, actually, a couple fell out while I was shuffling, but of the three that I pulled is Love. It says, love is the answer to all of my questions. And again, I'm just seeing the light on the heart. Has to do with just really connecting back with that, back to the heart-centered, you know, being in a space where you're open in your heart and sharing out to the world from that space through connectedness, through that connection with divine, with yourself, with your body, with nature, so that you can really connect to those around you that you're here to help and inspire and empower with your voice and with your gifts. And then two cards came out, and open your heart to love, so, or just open your heart, but I'm sure it goes right with that, right? Opening your heart is opening to love. And so this is open your heart. I allow myself to feel the full range of emotions, especially all forms of love. So just noticing, kind of goes back to the card last week. Yeah, and even could be the present moment card this week, which has to do with, honoring your sensitivities, honoring your emotions, and your feelings. Those are indicators for you. So if you're finding it hard to be present or hard to be in your heart, or you're noticing, some particular feelings or emotions, it's not about stuffing them or pretending that they're not there, but it's about addressing them and being open to healing, being open in your heart, connecting with your creator and opening your heart and asking for that guidance and that healing, and doing some inquiry. It might require some journaling. Last week was a lot about reflectiveness. So just continue to notice, what's coming up. If you're hitting some walls or some energy or some emotions, acknowledge them. You might get some support. You might journal. You might just pray. You might do lots of whatever works for you, being in nature as a way to process and move forward, and to continuing to allowing your heart to be open even more fully. And the last card is Grace. It says, I am filled with the same beauty, poise, and divine perfection as all of God's other creatures. Yeah, I see her actually spending some time reading. I feel like reading, journaling, just being compassionate with yourself, compassionate with others. It's a lot about being in your heart and being open to love. Has a lot about grace and compassion. So just noticing how you can view your situation. Maybe possibly if you're in a big change. I know a lot of changes have happened for people, and sometimes that can bring up some different levels of fear, or it could trigger different responses in people that you're in relationship with, even clients or family, or yourself. And so just notice, what lens are you looking through, and how can you look through it from a space of beauty, from divine perfectionism, and from knowing that you're always connected and there's always a way to be aligned with a fast path to abundance and love and joy. So just noticing that space and having that compassion and that view of beauty as you look at your world and your life. All right, take care. I would love to see you over at the Enlightened Entrepreneurs Group with Jennifer Gilchrist. You can Google that search that on Facebook. We'll also put the link below. But I would love to have you over in our community where we just support one another and really aligning with your own soul's gifts, really honing in on, inspiring and empowering others to get your message out into the world in a big way, connecting with your intuition, and allowing that to really just flow through you in your life and in your business. So, all right. Thank you very much. I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.